Okay, I've just used the E-Tech to get me up into some shallow water. Welcome to Fishing the Edge, it's Guesty here. Today we're going to cast a few little shrimps around. This is a gulp jelly prawn and try and catch a few brim by skipping them across in shallow water. So let's give it a go. There we go. And it's that right time of year. We've got the prawns moving around on the new moon. So it certainly makes sense to be using a small prawn type pattern for bait, and what better one to use than the gulp. And this one's a jelly prawn actually, and that little brim, there he is there, you can see him in the sunlight. He smashed that little jelly prawn. There he is. Oh, he's got a bit of a sad eye, this fella, by the look of it. We'll just lift him out. Here we go. Beautiful little brim, and he's just smashed that jelly prawn. You can see that tail hanging out. Now that's only a 3-pound vanished fluorocarbon leader, so fishing very, very light. And we all know, we've seen the AFC on television and how exciting brim fishing can be, and that's a result. Now I'm not a competition brim angler by any means. I'm not the world's greatest caster, so you don't need to be to go brim fishing. And this technique, which I'll show you in a minute, which is skipping those little gulp shrimps across the surface, is a really exciting way to catch yourself some brim. So there's our jelly prawn, which is one of the new gulp shrimp colours that's just come out. And that's on the very, very lightly weighted, or what we call one of our hidden weight system nitro jig heads. And as I said, there's the result. So we'll let this fella go, and he can grow a bit bigger. And one of the brim anglers will catch him when he's a bit bigger one day and be pretty excited about that. So we'll pop him back in. There you go, old mate. There he goes. Awesome. The idea with using these gulp shrimp is to really replicate, I guess, what a prawn that's been chased out of the sand or out of its little house in the weed there, and replicate that prawn trying to flee away. So we've rigged that prawn backwards. Obviously prawns swim backwards and they skip backwards across the surface when they're being chased. So it's a matter of keeping that rod tip up and just rattling it and winding it at the same time, and creating that skipping action of the shrimp across the surface. And the brim will come up. If you keep an eye on it, quite often you'll see the swirl come along. Sometimes it's a matter of just stopping that retrieve, dropping it back, and the brim thinks it's hit the prawn or it's somehow stunned the prawn, it's sinking, and they'll eat it on the sink too. So if that doesn't work, cast it out, try it again, and you can certainly stir them up, and that's the action that seems to work. So simple cast out, let that shrimp land. If it's really shallow, wind that slack up straight away so that you're in contact with that shrimp straight away. And if the brim are really feeding hard, just that initial cast and that splash, quite often they'll come straight in and hit it instantly, and it's really good fun and a good way to really get started, I guess, in brim fishing, or certainly for myself, it's a great way to do a bit of sport fishing. There's that skipping prawn technique again. And he's just come up and smash that. I saw him come in across the surface, high rod tip, lots of that rattling action. And that little gulp shrimp has been smashed by another nice little brim. You don't need to be the world's best tournament angler to catch brim on lures. Just got to get out there and have a go. And there's the result, another nice brim, and he's just smashed that jelly prawn. There he is, beautiful little fish. That's great fun. Anytime, we've spoken about it so many times, anytime you get to see the fish take the bait is just great with it. Popper fishing, and really what I'm doing is surface fishing here with a soft plastic. So jigging that prawn across the surface, try and make it look as natural as you can. And there's the result, another brim. So I'll just get him out, tiny little weighted jig head there. I'll just pop that out of his mouth. There he is. Beautiful little fish, nice fat healthy fish. We'll let him go and he'll grow a bit bigger. He'd be legal if you wanted to eat one. He'd be 26, 27 centimetres, but he's just been good fun. We'll let him go and let him get a bit bigger. Hey, there you go. All right, let's talk about the tackle there for a minute. one thing with brim spinning, if you haven't been involved in that type of fishing before, you do need to fish pretty light. So you may have to go out and get yourself, this is a 2 to 4 kilo pro tactic, so a 2 sort of kilo rod, a little spinning reel. A lot of you have a little spinning reel like this at home. This is a little fluger reel. I've got some 4-pound microfuse with some 3-pound, 3 to 6 pound. The lighter you fish, the more bites you'll get, as simple as that. So about a rod length of 3-pound Vanish fluorocarbon, a little lefty's loop knot onto our little hidden weight nitro jig head, which is about a 1/32 I think in weight, this one. And I've rigged that shrimp up just like so. You can see that eye poking out through there, and we'll show you how to rig that in a minute. Simply cast it out, skip it across the shallower ground. As it gets a bit deeper, let it sink down and just work it like a shrimp that's come out of the weed, out of the eelgrass or that short blackweed, or even up out of the sand, and the brim just love it. Thanks for watching Fishing the Edge, Guesty here. As I always say, time for one last cast. We've been catching brim on gulp shrimps, and it's a lot of fun, easy to do. Catch you next time.